Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. I'm your host James Hegan, and today we're going to talk about the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. Sometimes in quizzes they ask who was the youngest person to be elected American president. Most people think it was Teddy Roosevelt. After all, I did say he was the youngest person to become president. But he wasn't elected. Roosevelt took the office due to the assassination of William McKinley. JFK is the youngest person to be elected American president. JFK was the first person born in the 20th century to serve as president. He was the first Catholic president. JFK was said to have a hypnotic handshake that would allow him to command a conversation or event. He even commissioned an entire study on the art of shaking hands. He was the fastest speaker of all presidents. In one speech in 1961, he spoke 327 words per minute. He was 12 years older than his wife. JFK was given a live turkey on Thanksgiving. He refused to kill it and gave it to a farm. When he applied to Harvard, his father wrote them a letter saying that Kennedy was careless but ambitious. Hey, Father of the Year! He and his 8 siblings came from a wealthy family. When JFK and his brothers and sisters reached the age of 21, they were given $1 million each. JFK is infamously known for the Kennedy curse, since almost every Kennedy died suddenly or suspiciously. JFK's brother, Joe, was killed in World War II in 1944. His sister, Kathleen, died in a plane crash in 1948. His brother, Robert, was assassinated on June 6, 1968 by a Jordanian called Sirhan. On July 16, 1999, his son, JFK Jr., was involved in a plane crash in which 4 of his family members died. The exception to the JFK curse is his own mother, Rosa. She outlived 4 of her children, her husband, 3 grandchildren, 3 son-in-laws, and Jacqueline Kennedy before dying at the age of 104. He married Jacqueline Lee Bouvier on September 12, 1953. They had 5 children. Their second child, Patrick, died after 2 days. Most reports say that Jacqueline only had 4 children, but she had a miscarriage in 1956. The baby would have been called Arabella. JFK was awarded a Pulitzer Prize for his book Profiles in Courage. His book was turned into a television series of the same name. It was broadcast during 1964 to 1965. During World War II, JFK was on a boat when it got hit by the Japanese destroyer, the Amagiri. The boat split in half and was set on fire. Even though the blast caused JFK to suffer a permanent back injury, he grabbed an injured man on board and swam him to safety to an island. It took him 4 hours, some sources say it may have taken 5 to swim there. What's more amazing is that JFK dragged the man with his teeth. He is the only president to earn a Purple Heart due to his bravery in World War II. Many of the tapes during his time in office have now been declassified. He smoked 4 or 5 cigars a day. He was the first Boy Scout to become president. He did not take a salary during his presidency. Instead, the salary was donated to the United Negro College Fund, the Boy Scouts, and multiple charities. He was instrumental in forming the Peace Corps. Over 210,000 Americans have joined the Peace Corps since 1961. JFK defeated Richard Nixon in the 1960 election by only 84 electoral votes and won the popular vote by 0.2%. Historian John Richard Stevens says that Kennedy confided with friends that he could only be satisfied with 3 women a day. JFK allegedly slept with Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn, Angie Dickinson, Florida Bolkin, Jane Mansfield, and burlesque stripper Blaze Starr. He also probably slept with his wife. A 73-year-old called Richard Palick tried to kill JFK with a car full of dynamite. He even posted random letters around town with cryptic clues about his intentions to murder the president. He sounds like a cross between Wile E. Coyote and the Riddler. JFK had one leg longer than the other and had to wear corrective shoes. He had chronic back pain that was so severe he used crutches in private. The swimming pool of the White House was heavily heated to take the edge off JFK's back pain. He tried to swim there every day. In 1962, the Cuban Missile Crisis took place over 13 days. JFK stopped the Russians from entering Cuba. JFK diverted the world from the brink of nuclear war. JFK invited writer William Faulkner to dinner at the White House. Faulkner refused because he thought traveling 100 miles was too far for a meal. He had ponies called Macaroni, Tex, and Leprechaun. He also had a rabbit called Jaja. He is the youngest president to die in office. JFK was so ill at the time of his assassination that he would have been dead within a year, or at the very least, he would have been forced to step down as president. It is not common knowledge that Kennedy suffered from Addison's disease. It poisons one's adrenal glands. It was so severe that he was given the last rites during one of his hospital runs. Many people describe Kennedy as having a natural glow about him. What they didn't realize is that his bronze skin was from the disease. Although he always looked healthy, he had to be rushed to the hospital 9 times in the last 2 years of his life. The conspiracy theory revolving around JFK's death is as follows. The government had JFK killed because they wanted to invade Vietnam and he was against it. This theory doesn't make any sense because why would they kill him when they knew he was going to die? Also, Kennedy wasn't against invading Vietnam. He had already sent advisors and special forces to Vietnam before he died. It was not a full-scale war, but he directly began military activity in South Vietnam. He didn't want a war, but he knew it was unavoidable. Kennedy predicted he was going to die on the day of his assassination. On November 22nd, 1963, he told his wife, "But Jackie, somebody wants to shoot me from a window with a rifle. Nobody can stop it, so why worry about it?" JFK was shot from a 6-story window by Lee Harvey Oswald. Oswald was killed 2 days later by Jack Ruby. Oswald was only 24 when he died. When JFK was shot, 51 witnesses claimed they had heard shots from the grassy knoll, which was nowhere near where Lee Harvey Oswald was located when he shot the president. This is what fueled the more than one shooter conspiracy theory. Harold Feldman's article, 51 Witnesses, The Grassy Knoll, was published in 1965. Oliver Stone directed the film JFK in 1991 that revolves around the Kennedy conspiracy theory. Stone showed the film to Congress on Capitol Hill on December 1991. It led to the Assassination Disclosure Act in 1992. Just before he was shot in his car, his passenger, Nellie Connolly, said, "You certainly can't say that people of Dallas haven't given you a nice welcome, Mr. President." He replied with, "No, you certainly can't." He was shot seconds later. Special thanks to these fine people for all their help. Be sure to subscribe to Facts About Everything. Follow me on Twitter for updates on upcoming videos. Check out my Facebook page to let me know what subjects you want me to talk about in the future. Thanks for watching. See you again.